What is up, guys? Media Master Menard here today, coming back at you with another video. And as you can tell by the title, today we're talking about Black Mirror Season 5. And honestly, guys, I was extremely disappointed with this season of Black Mirror. And it first started off with it only being 3 episodes. I know they put a lot of resources towards Bandersnatch, which was alright. But only having 3 episodes this season was really just not a good way to start this season off in my head. And honestly, I'm going to be very frank with you guys. I expect better. And this kind of goes back to what I'm talking about with Netflix original series and Netflix as a platform as a whole. It's really going downhill, guys, and it's scaring me a lot. But without further ado, let's kind of talk about this season more specifically. I'm not going to make any cuts in this video. I really have waited 2 weeks since I viewed this season, so I've kind of got my thoughts formulated in my head. Let me know what you guys think about this style of video down in the comments below after you've watched it. But let's start with episode 1, which was Striking Vipers. And honestly, guys, this episode was pretty decent, but as we'll see, the season started off kind of middle of the ground, let's say right here, and it went downhill rather fast. And so this episode is about a pair of friends, and they kind of get this virtual reality fighting game together, and they start fighting and messing around, but then one thing leads to another, and they start being together over this video game. And it's kind of a very interesting subject, and there's a lot of different areas they could have explored. I mean, humans haven't really come into this problem yet. How do we define relationships that are like this? Are they both gay, or is only one of them gay? What does this kind of make them? Is it okay because it's over virtual reality, or is it some sort of addiction to each other? And I thought they could have explored a lot of those things a lot more, and where I was disappointed with this episode was it seemed like they just focused on each other as friends and not kind of the bigger picture and what it meant for humanity, and how do we define these things when we get to that point. But I did think overall it was actually a pretty decent episode, and I'm kind of curious, what do you guys think? Was doing that stuff with his best friend in that video game, do you consider that cheating on his wife? Because I thought that was kind of something they also could have explored in this episode, and they didn't really go into that at all. They didn't really talk about, is this cheating, is this not cheating, I mean, what does this mean, what is this? And I thought that was something that could have been explored a little better. But overall, Striking Vipers was a pretty good episode, and it did have some of those questions that make you think, very Black Mirror-esque. But then episode 2, Smithereens, it was kind of about this guy who is like a psychopath, a sociopath, and he's just picking people up. He's an Uber driver, basically, and he keeps driving people, trying to find someone from a certain company. And then it randomly switches to him sleeping with this woman, and then finding out about her daughter, and her daughter committed suicide, and this woman is trying to get her password so that she can see why her daughter did it. And then that becomes kind of irrelevant later, as the man, he kidnaps somebody, and he has a hostage, and then he starts making demands to the police, and eventually he makes demands to the CEO of this company, and basically all he says is hey man, your social media is messing with people's lives, fix it, what it did to me ruined my life. And it's wait, because he caused a car accident because he was addicted to the social media and couldn't put it down while he was driving. And it felt like one of those things where Black Mirror was trying to be deep, and it really just fell flat, in my opinion. A lot of the plot points in this episode really kind of felt like dead ends, because he's sitting here making these demands, and then they don't tell us how the episode ends. There's a shot fired, and we don't know if him and the hostage both die, or just he dies, or the hostage dies only. I mean, they don't tell us any of these things, and they just kind of show people reading it on social media and walking about their day, and you're just tell us what happens. It was trying to be this poetic ending that really didn't work out. And so what also was very frustrating about this episode was the fact that at the end they show the wife, or not the wife, but the lady he slept with, finally getting the password for the social media account of her daughter who committed suicide. But then as she's opening it, it just fades into credits and we don't get to see what actually happens. So the whole episode felt rather pointless in the end, guys. And honestly, I don't know. It was not as good as the first one. It was better than the last one, though, because I did think it was at least like, what's going to happen? Even though if it was a huge letdown after you're like, what happened? Because you're like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And nothing happens. But the last episode, the third and final episode, Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2 was just not Black Mirror, guys. This was not Black Mirror at all. There was like no hidden significance to this episode. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But they got Miley Cyrus to do a part. She was an actor in this, and I'm cool with Black Mirror using well-known actors. I mean, they had the guy who plays Falcon in the first one, so I was like, in the first episode of this season, so I'm like, yeah, we're good, guys. But then the episode just sucked. It was like so cringy and just awkward, and it was like, Disney Channel movie with a little bit of like mild horror mixed in, but not really horror, just like a little bit of a darker Disney movie. That's what I've seen it described as online. That's kind of the best way to put it, guys. It is just not that interesting and not what I am looking for when I'm watching Black Mirror. I mean, when me and my girlfriend got done with this episode, we were just like, really? Like, did they really just make us watch this? Like, that's disrespectful that they like put that out and labeled it Black Mirror, guys. That's disrespectful to us as the viewer. So that's all I have to say about this game, or this episode. It was just really disappointing, really cringy, and come on, Black Mirror, you can do better than that. Honestly, I am worried about television, guys. Netflix, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, is in a lot of trouble, and it just feels like we've left this golden age of television. Game of Thrones went down in flames. Black Mirror is losing its quality. I mean, what's next, guys? A lot of things could be changing on the horizon for TV, and we might not be getting as many quality TV shows as we have been in the past. It seems like this quantity over quality approach is really starting to take hold, and they're just trying to throw as much media and information at us as they can. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know if you like this season of Black Mirror. What was your favorite episode, or what can they do to improve the show going forward? Do you think Bandersnatch played a role in kind of the lacklusterness of this season? If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll maybe bringing you guys more movies, TV, video game, and anime content. I'm going to leave a link to my Twitter down in the description below so you can find out when I post a new video. And until then, this is Master Menard, signing off.
Now look at the top, I'm going crazy, who wearing the crown? Schooly bop, doodly bolly doodly down.